Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 23rd. This week, we are going to jump right in here. You have the Sacred Magic card. In the Sage card, it says Hearts, Desires, Manifesting. So, love that. You definitely could be, both cards kind of represent magic or just manifesting things that you desire. You could be doing this through cleansing. I was literally going to say that, and you have the Star card. The Star card is a card of hope, faith, and renewal. And so with the Star card, anything we can do to renew our energy or to heal or to just simply take better care of ourselves, the more we do that, the better with the Star card. Kind of like the Empress. The Empress is also a card of self-care. So anything you can do to nurture yourself, take care of yourself is obviously going to be really good with these cards. You start with the Two of Swords, the Death card, and the Star card. The Two of Swords is like this or that thinking. So the Two of Swords is a card where she is thinking that she only has two options, but really she has another option. I do kind of feel like some of you maybe enter, as you enter into this week, I feel that some of you could be entering into the week feeling a little bit stuck, but not really in a bad way. And the reading itself looks very good so far. And, again, I think maybe this is just a little bit of stuck energy. Today is actually June 18th. Today is a very stuck day, by the way. Even though this won't be published till the 19th, again, you might notice that if you're watching this early, whatever this week is, the 16th or whatever, you might notice that you feel a little bit stuck this week or a little bit, unsure. And I think this will maybe continue the first day, on the 23rd of the month, the first day of the week that you could be feeling a little bit stuck. But like I said, I feel like this is something that won't last long. You have the Death card, definitely some cleansing. You have that Sage card that says Hearts, Desires, Manifest. You have this card here, the Death card. With the Death card, there are a couple of things that we can cleanse. Number one, we have the King, who is dead underneath the Death Rider here. And the King being dead can represent the death of establishment. Basically things that we've been doing for a long time, or, if we've been believing the same things for too long, or, if we've been doing the same thing for too long. That is the King being dead on the Death card. We also have this guy here, this Pope-looking guy. He can represent the death of beliefs. And one thing I will say is that we had Neptune and Pisces. Neptune will be retrograding into Pisces, but Neptune and Pisces is literally the death of a traditional belief. So it's kind of going to be different for everyone. But with Neptune and Pisces, we can all believe whatever, based off of how we're raised and things like that. And Neptune, when it leaves Pisces, like it has now, and even though it will be retrograding back into Pisces, Neptune in that Pisces area can, and especially when we get to the end, we can, like we are now, we can find ourselves releasing things that we used to believe that we don't believe any longer. And, I know that's a very general message, but cleansing those old beliefs is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. So if you are doing that with this Neptune and Pisces, Neptune and Aries energy, then you will get the benefits of doing that. So just a great time to if there's anything, and again, I can't give you a good example because it's everything. Maybe you grew up and believe the sky was purple and the ground was red. I don't know. It's it could be any beliefs that you're changing. You have the Death card and the Star, sorry. The Star is a card of renewal. And so what I was going to say is that with the Death card, having the Star after the Death card is kind of like a Phoenix Rising type of energy. It can definitely represent kind of having a stronger rebirth. It can say that you have experienced a complete stripping down of your past and now you're being reborn. And so we don't really think of the Star as rebirth necessarily, but it kind of is. And the Star can also represent your dreams. So a lot of you could be more focused at this time. We have this big star here, and we have Pluto and Aquarius for 18 and a half more years or something like that. So with Pluto and Aquarius, I think we all need to work towards our own star, our own guiding light, our own inner guidance system. And people who listen to their own inner guidance system and listen to the star are going to be very successful moving forward. With the Two of Swords, you have the Knight of Pentacles making progress. I'm actually really happy to see the Knight of Pentacles with the Two of Swords. I kind of go back and forth on the Knight of Pentacles. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Mostly because he's the only knight in the tarot that isn't moving. But when he shows up in the good stuff, there's your confirmation for you. When he shows up in the good stuff, he can definitely represent making progress. So I do feel a lot of you are making progress at this time. With the Death card, you have the High Priestess. Yeah, trust your intuition. I think we all know the things that we're supposed to release at this time. And so we have to trust our inner knowingness. But, these could be things that you have to release, that you have to admit to yourself that you have to release. And so, like, what the hell am I talking about? Well, it's like, I don't know, I want to eat pizza every single day. But, obviously I have to admit to myself that that wouldn't be very healthy. So I am not eating pizza. Right? I don't want to admit that, but I just did. So that is the Death card with the High Priestess. With the Star card, you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is building wealth, and you definitely have some good money cards here, except for the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is about calling attention to your weaknesses. So with the Five of Pentacles, we just have to focus on our strengths. But you have, again, I do think your finances are changing. It's really time for your finances to change, Libra. I think Libra has had a hard time work-wise for maybe since like 2016, basically. And, even if you haven't been struggling financially, it's like you probably need more. Who doesn't? And, again, I think a lot of you there are actually going to be very good financial changes in the near future. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this waxing moon. It says the energy is gaining momentum. You have this full moon in Gemini. It says the answers you need are coming. Literally every single sign this week has had something about the answers you need coming. Like every single reading has basically said this. It's pretty weird. It's almost like a collective message. Obviously not everyone has had this card, but all these oracle decks that I use, they all have something similar. So I don't know. They're definitely, it just could be a time where we are finally getting the answers we need. It kind of makes sense. We just had that first, new moon at the end of May. And, yes, I realize that we're approaching this next new moon. But, we had that new moon at the end of May, which kind of marked the end of all those retrogrades that we had for a very long period of time. We are finally past the full moon that we had in Scorpio, which is a little bit challenging. And plus, also today, we have the Neptune-Jupiter square on June 18th. So obviously, this is being published after that square, but it doesn't really matter. I feel like people will still be feeling it this week, the week of the 16th or whatever. And you could even be feeling it at the beginning of next week as well. But the good news is, I think this is bringing in a lot of answers. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the Wheel of Fortune and the World together, which is amazing. The Five of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, which is not amazing, but we'll talk about it. This could represent ending a cycle. The World is a card of accomplishment, of course, or achievement, but also can represent the end. We in the major arcana, we go from the Fool to the World, and then we start all over again as the Fool. So, when the World comes up, we can be ending a cycle. The Wheel of Fortune can represent taking control of your destiny. And that's kind of what I feel like you need to do here, Libra. I think the Wheel of Fortune is saying, hey, it's time to take control of your situation, especially with that Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can represent, feeling weak. And it doesn't say you are weak, of course not. It just says you could be feeling weak, or you could be feeling like you can't handle things. And you end with the Strength card, which is great, because the Strength card is coming up in the good stuff. And probably the Strength card is what you need to, overcome the Five of Pentacles energy in your reading. I always say, with the Five of Pentacles, we have to double down on our strengths and not our weaknesses, right? But definitely, this could be you accomplishing things and taking control of your destiny. You have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can represent feeling left out in the cold and needing to find a place of sanctuary. These people have this church behind them, and the church on the card represents a place of sanctuary. It's like a place of protection, a place of, where they can go and protect themselves and all that other good stuff. So, I think it would be a good time for you to create your own protection. I think it would be a good time for you to also double down on your strengths, basically double down on the things that you're good at. You have the Five of Wands. I just said this to Gemini, and I'm going to say it to you as well, Libra. There is something about the astrology this week, and actually starting today. Like I said, I know this won't be published till the 19th, so we'll just say the 19th. Starting around there, where we probably see something we want to accomplish, but we also see the competition, right? And so it definitely seems to be a time for air signs, or at least you and Gemini, but we're talking to you here, so Libra. It might be time for you to not be afraid of the competition, or, I'm not saying you're afraid of the competition. I'm more saying just because there is competition doesn't mean you shouldn't do something you want to do, right? So don't be afraid of the competition. With the World in the Wheel of Fortune, you have two cards. One flew out. You have this Ten of Wands in the Ten of Pentacles, which is amazing. The Ten of Wands says that you are very close to ending a journey or a challenge or a difficulty. He's about to reach his home in the background there, and he's about to put down his burdens. The Ten of Pentacles can be everything you want and desire in your life. Ten of Pentacles is the tree of life. It is building, leaving a legacy. So a lot of you, like I said, I feel like your money is about to change. I feel like money is about to get a lot better, Libra, for you. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords. It is an amazing time for deep work. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, that right now, and really we have Neptune will be retrograding back into Pisces this year, and it won't be moving back into Aries until January 26th or whatever it is next year. Also Saturn as well. So Saturn's in Aries, but Saturn will be retrograding out, and it will be moving back into Aries in February of next year. And so I think it's an amazing time. We kind of have like one more little bit of time here between now and like February, we'll call. I would actually say that we probably have until about the end of March next year, because some other planets and things like that will be moving on by that time, by like March like 26th or something of next year, somewhere around there. So we have until that time to do any deep work on ourselves that we want to do, like exploring trauma or, exploring it and healing it, of course. But Page of Swords is like a detective. He can represent getting to the root cause of something and really looking into yourself, right? And then on top of that, we go up to the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. Nine of Pentacles is true independence. So, a lot of you Libra people could be like getting those extra benefits from, doing work on yourself, and it's definitely popping into my head. With the Five of Wands, you have the Six of Cups. Again, could be a gift from the universe. Six of Cups is a turnaround as well. So if there has been competition for something that you've been trying to accomplish, this could be you overcoming the competition, plain and simple. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this community card and this Between Worlds card. Yeah, I think it would be an amazing time for you to like get out into the community, or to spend time in the community, your community, the people in your life, people around you, things like that. A lot of you could be kind of like in this in-between time, or you have been in this in-between time with that Between Worlds card. The Between Worlds card kind of represents stepping into like color, your life becoming more exciting, becoming more vibrant. So I do feel there are a lot of improvements coming in for you, Libra. You have the Nine of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. The Nine of Pentacles can represent independence, of course. Can represent you kind of creating more wealth and abundance. It's a card of gratitude and luxuries. The more grateful we are for what we have, the better with this card. So I would definitely be practicing gratitude with the Nine of Pentacles. She also is practicing her focus, right? She has this falcon right here. And so she gets exactly what she focuses on. And I would just make sure that you are focusing on exactly what you want in life. And if you do that, things will go very well for you. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. He's looking at these Seven Pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze, basically? Is it worth it for me to keep investing in these Seven Pentacles, or should I change direction? I don't know. You get this card with me every single reading. So a lot of you are clearly looking to make changes in your life. You could be deciding that your job isn't paying you enough. You could be deciding that you need to make more money. And again, this doesn't mean you have to quit your job, right? It could just mean that you're just deciding that it's not paying you enough and you need to do something to change it. So you could be asking for a raise, asking for a promotion. You could be making something happen, right? And so a lot of you seem to be doing that. You have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups can be a love offer, of course. I do feel a little bit of love here in this reading, for sure. Could be a fire sign, as always. You always get like a fire sign with me. You have the Page of Wands here. But it could be any sign. It could be an Earth stands out to me. Aquarius stands out to me. Scorpio. That's really all that stands out to me right now. But definitely could be, love coming in for you. The Page of Cups is also an amazing card for working on your dream. And you have the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is like your ultimate dream life. And I would be doing whatever you can to work on your dream. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords, which is a never-ending nightmare. Again, definitely a change that needs to be made here. It's like this. I don't feel bad about this, Libra. I feel it's more like saying, that you could take control of your destiny with the Wheel of Fortune and greatly improve your situation. But the Nine of Swords is about how much pain are you willing to accept. Nine of Swords, he's in bed, he's having a nightmare, he's waking up, he's stuck in a nightmare. The whole point of the Nine of Swords is that he's in pain, but he's not in enough pain to make a change. The Nine of Swords says, don't do that. The Nine of Swords says, if you're in pain, take care of it as quickly as you possibly can, right? So if that means you need to ask for a raise or promotion, do it. It's kind of like the anticipation is always worse than the actual result. And, that's what the Nine of Swords says. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Star. Yes, I feel the Star in your reading is saying you're meant for more. You are meant for great things. And maybe you need to believe that, Libra, right? The Star is also a card of self-care, like I already said. In this whole entire reading, there's like a little bit of there's like an element of you taking better care of yourself, or you needing to take better care of yourself, because that's probably where you're going to get these better results, is by taking care of yourself and making sure you're healed and all that other good stuff. So I would just make sure that you are taking care of yourself. The Star is also about looking at the big picture. And normally I only say this in readings with the Ten of Pentacles, but we also have the Wheel of Fortune in the World. This comment, those four cards, Star, Wheel of Fortune, World, Ten of Pentacles, they're touching here. The reason I didn't mention it here is because they're not touching. Here, and sorry, I just messed up the reading. Here, they are touching. So this definitely would represent looking at the big picture. It's like the Ten of Pentacles, we have to know where we're going. A lot of people say, I want to make $1 billion. It's like, okay, great, how? And they have no map on how they're going to get there. It's a hope and a dream. They say, oh, I'll win the lottery. It's like, yeah, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning, right? And so what people need to realize is that even if you think you can only make $1 billion by winning the lottery, that's not true. If you come up with a plan, there are a billion ways to make $1 billion, right? You could write the next Harry frickin' Potter, right? Because I'm pretty sure that lady, she's like a billionaire right now. So again, there's a lot of ways you could do it. And she came from nothing, basically. So that's just one example of many. And this says, if you can see it, if you can see the map of how to do it, then you will get there. With the Page of Cups, you have the Judgment card. Judgment is about waking up to your purpose. We do see a lot of purpose stuff here. World, Judgment, Ten of Pentacles, Star. All these cards can kind of represent working on your North Star. Your North Star is your ultimate vision. It is your ultimate goal in life with the Ten of Pentacles. So again, I think the clearer you are on like what you want, the better. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Leader card. It says, as a born leader, you can truly bring out the best in others by guiding them and inspiring them. You have this Host card. It says, whether your space is physical or digital, you could find a lot of fulfillment in being a host. There you go. So you could be hosting people, places, things, whatever, and I think that would be great for you. I think all air signs are meant to be leaders right now because of Pluto and Aquarius. You have the Star twice. The Star is literally about being a star, right? And that doesn't mean famous. It could, but it means that you are being a guiding light to other people. It's the most spiritual thing we can all do right now, is be an example to other people. And so you don't have to, I've been telling people for like 2 years now to prepare for this, because it's like we should be teaching people, but teaching does not mean like standing up in front of a classroom and telling people what to do. The type of teaching should be inspirational, and meaning we shouldn't tell anyone to do anything. We should just prove it with evidence of our own life, right? So the Star is about living your best life. If you do that, other people will see it, they'll be inspired, and then you are working spiritually. So, that's what I would be doing with these cards. You have the Strength card, the Page of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. The Strength card is about working on your own inner strength, which I definitely feel you could be doing. Again, she is taming this lion. That lion represents her inner beast or her inner critic, but she's the one that's taking control over it. So I think that controlling your inner voice would be a good idea for you. I do feel like some of you could be attracting a fire sign. It could be a Leo, could be any sign, Libra, take it how it resonates, whatever. But you could be attracting a person. You have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about going on adventure, having fun, traveling, getting out in the world, all that other good stuff. So I think anything you could do to like travel, adventure, have fun would be a really good idea with the Page of Wands. I also think that just having more fun in general. For the past few weeks, pretty much everyone has been getting this energy of needing to have more fun, needing to do more fun things, needing to not take things too seriously, pretty much all that. You have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords and the good stuff is good because it says you are setting yourself free. She is normally stuck right here, but she is stuck in self-imposed prison, and all she has to do is realize that there are many ways to overcome her problem or her situation, and she will be able to set herself free. But I think a lot of you are setting yourself free. So that is the good news, Libra. Let's see. With the Strength card, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, like card of stability and, a card of financial stability as well. I really don't think that you want to be financially stable. I mean that in the best way possible. I don't think anyone really grows up and thinks to themselves, man, I hope I can always just pay my bills and that's it. Right? That's financial stability. Financial stability just means you can pay things on time, right? And so I think that you want exceptional results, and I would encourage you to get exceptional results, not just basic results. Again, this is Minnow Tarot. There are no basic people in Minnow Tarot. I occasionally get people who in the comments who say things like, it's not all about the money. How much money do you need? It's like, I don't know. Like, have fun living under a bridge, right? Enjoy it, because it's not very fun. And I've had money, I've lost it all, I've made it all back again, I've lost it all again, and I've made it all back again, and I can tell you, life is much better with money, right? And so, I don't care what anyone says, but again, most of you aren't basic anyway, if you're watching this video. So, I think you want exceptional results, and I will always encourage everyone that watches my channel to get exceptional results, not basic results. People who say it's not about the money want to keep you small, right? I want you to be big and take up as much space as you can. With the Page of Wands, you have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a celebration, happiness. Also would be an amazing time to socialize as well. So Three of Cups is a great card for getting benefits from other people. These three ladies are celebrating a harvest, and a lot of people have been getting a message lately that has basically been saying we need to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with the right people. People who want you to be big, like me, not people who want you to be small. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Justice card. Justice is you showing up in a very strong position. So I feel for a lot of you that, whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So I feel like you're showing up in a strong position. You have this Purse card that says, pay attention to your finances. Money looks really good here. I do feel there are things that you can do to get like those exceptional financial results. Yeah, it's going to require more work. Yes, it's probably going to require more attention with the Star card. But, maybe it's going to require you to be bold and assertive and tell your boss you need a raise. And if they say no, then you're also going to have to be bold and assertive and get the hell out of there and find something else, right? And so, it's going to require some moves. But if you make those moves, you'll be happy you did. You have this eye card. It says psychic ability, trust your intuition. Very intuitive week for whatever reason. Everybody has had like super intuitive cards. So I would definitely be paying attention to your messages. You have this archway card. It says new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up. Yes, definitely. We are in a time of new opportunity and innovation. Pluto and Aquarius is like the start of it. Saturn and Aries, Neptune and Aries will be opening up new opportunities. Jupiter moving into Cancer. Jupiter loves Cancer. It is in Cancer right now. But we kind of have like the perfect storm for good things to happen. We also have the perfect storm for bad things to happen as well, which we're seeing all over the world. And I believe that we're here to change it. We have to focus in the opposite direction. And if we do and we create good things, then good things will happen. But it's I don't know. Whatever. Rant over. You have this ladder card. It says climbing towards success. Definitely very successful looking reading. So I definitely feel you are. You have this pin card. It says new job or career. There you go. I basically said it. Some of you might be deciding to quit your job. Now, one thing I will say is I wouldn't just quit your job. Make sure that you have something lined up first, obviously. You have to remember, and I've been saying this for years. In 2016, we started with Saturn and Capricorn. Saturn and Capricorn is like, what would your grandpa do, right? Your back in the day, your grandfather wouldn't have quit a job. Number one, that's the thing, right? Back in the day, old people stayed at their jobs till they died, and that's like a completely different story. But if your grandfather was going to quit his job, he would have like written a letter to the president of the company, and he would have been like, these are the reasons I'm leaving, and I greatly appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for this, and I thank you for that, and I'm moving on now, right? And so your grandfather would have put in his 2-month notice, but he would have also probably had something else lined up, right? And so I'm not saying we have to be that crazy about it, but we have Saturn just changed signs into Aries. And, since 2016, I think really we all have to follow those grandpa rules since like 2016, because we also had Pluto there at the same time. So don't just quit a job. Get something else first. And also make sure you don't burn the bridge of where you are right now, even if they deserve it, right? And if you do that, you'll be happy. If you don't, you won't. But anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me. Really appreciate it. And enjoy your week.